It's like, see, embarrassment is not a thing that Safrianna normally experiences, but we're going to go there today. So,
Hi,
welcome back,
everyone.
friends. Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be back with you, Meryl, to keep serving our beautiful people. And we've picked a topic that I know so many people struggle with today for episode 5 of Align and Shine. And we're going to be talking about overcoming embarrassment. So, it is definitely something so many people struggle with. So, right before we came live, we were chatting about this a little bit and just like the reasons embarrassment comes up for people. And really, I think one of the biggest and most common one is body stuff.
Hmm.
Like, do you see that in your work that people experience a lot of embarrassment or shame about their bodies?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to get deep into that today. And I I was thinking, what do we need to start telling people they need? So get yourself a cup of water if you're going to join
Hmm.
us. If you want to have a
Water
notebook,
bottle.
I also have my tea. And make yourself comfortable. We will be doing the same format that we always do for these Align and Shine calls. We will be doing a little bit of energy clearing. We'll be doing some tapping, and then we'll have a collective card reading. So, Meryl, why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself real quick in case people don't know you?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Meryl Hayton, and I am a certified EFT professional. And I'm helping you to wipe out whatever is in your way to happier, healthier relationships with yourself, with others, so that you have more joy in your life. I do,
Amazing.
it's somatic work through tapping, it's spiritual work through optimal EFT, which is a meditative form of tapping, and it's through law of attraction and, rewiring your patterns and your thoughts and your emotions and nervous system regulation and kind of bringing that all together in one program, so to speak, um, to help you to really get out of your own way and love and accept yourself through the process of working through hard situations sometimes and hard emotions and past trauma and all of that. It's a beautiful really beautiful process, I find, and keep watching, you'll experience some of it today.
Yes. And I loved recently on one of our lives, somebody described the EFT
Oh
process as
yeah.
an x-ray for the soul. Was that right?
No, ultrasound. So it's
Ultrasound
like
for the
it's
soul.
almost like, yeah, it's like you're kind of sweeping. That's how I see it. It's almost like you're sweeping this, like how you glide the ultrasound on the top of the body. It's almost like
Mm-hmm.
that was
Yeah.
what I got from it. Yeah, and it just kind of like gently can clear and clean and cleanse out whatever's in your way.
Yeah, it's EFT is one of my favorite tools, so I'm always delighted to get on and do these with you. So, in case you don't know me, I'm Safrianna Lughna. I also go or am known as the Queer Spirit Guide, and I am here to uplift other people. And I really believe that we rise together. And I also work in the realm of energetics and counseling and just bringing people into their authentic selves through whatever tools feel appropriate at the time. And these tools and these align and shine calls are some of my favorites. So let's start with some energy clearing. So wherever you are, whatever, did you
I
want to say
said,
anything else?
okay. No, I said, okay.
Okay. I looked down just in time to not catch that. So, speaking of embarrassment, I'll tell a little story while I'm getting my Palo Santo lit up here. I was making the card for this episode and I totally spelled embarrassment wrong. I spelled it embracement or something.
Hmm.
And I was going to upload everything and get it ready to go. And I noticed it last second right before I hit to schedule. And I was like, how funny would that have been? Because I probably would have been a little embarrassed if I had missed that. Right. And so this is, I think this topic is so universal. We all have these moments where we do something, we say something, we think something, and all of a sudden there's this response of like shame or fear that swells in our body and says like I've done something wrong, I need to feel badly about this. Um, and I was thinking of situations when I've been embarrassed. I remember the one that stands out the most for me is standing up in front of a crowd to clap and do like a standing ovation and no one else did. I was like 17, I think. And like that's just one of the ones that stands out. So it can be the littlest things, right? But that we just will ruminate on.
Well, that's so funny. I mean, I know Safrianna very well. And to me, that is you, like, I'm standing up and being the leader here. You know? That's how I see it.
Yeah. And to me, my 17-year-old self, I was mortified that I was
Yeah.
the only one. It was so funny looking back. So just breathe here. And maybe as we're even bringing up the topic of embarrassment, there's already a memory or even a recent time in which you felt a little bit of embarrassment. And just see if you can allow yourself to breathe with that. However you want, your eyes can be opened or closed, but just breathe with the fact that sometimes things are embarrassing. It doesn't always feel good in the body. I don't know that it ever feels good to be embarrassed in the body, but that you have the ability to breathe and to bring yourself back home, to come back center at any moment in time, whether you're actively experiencing embarrassment or shame, or you are thinking back on something. You can anchor into the breath. And I always like to say that as I breathe in, I'm calling myself home. And as I exhale, I'm blowing out anything that doesn't belong to me. I'm blowing out anything that really just doesn't serve me, that doesn't need to be here anymore. Maybe it's stuck, it's holding me back. So just remembering you always have the vehicle of your breath as a cleansing tool. And as I use this smoke cleansing here, I'm just gently clearing on behalf of anyone in the collective, whether you are watching this or just feeling the ripple effect out there in the universe, that we are gently beginning to clear away layers of embarrassment, knowing that it's something we can be a little bashful for a moment, a little embarrassed for a moment, but we don't have to hang on to it. We can allow ourselves to release this, clear this, let this go. And we'll really, really be letting go as we get into the EFT, really tapping it out, cleansing and clearing it. But just right here, right now, anything that might be getting in your way of just dropping into this present moment and being here with us, let that go too. If you notice any mental distractions, anything trying to pull you away from this present moment, you can use that breath to call yourself home and exhale the distractions. So let's get into some EFT and really get deep into this topic and all that we get to release with it, because I'm sure there's so much collectively. I think about how much society has said there's like one right way to be, and, we have to follow the rules and we've got to do things this way. But most of us aren't really meant to follow the rules. Most of those rules are designed to keep us small, not to allow us to flourish and become our full selves. So I think a lot of embarrassment just stems from these sort of societal narratives or things our parents didn't like,
Yeah.
or whatever that other people passed on. So
Oh, absolutely. I think I know for me personally, the things that I'm embarrassed about, my mom's embarrassed about, her mom was embarrassed about, so on and so on, so it's totally generational.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Meryl will be guiding me to tap, but
Hmm.
as I tap, you are welcome to fill in your own words. So I will have very specific words specific to me, but you are invited to say your own stuff and move through your own process. And of course, we're here live. So if you drop stuff in the chat while we're here, or you are watching the replay, you are welcome to share what's coming up for you and what's clearing
Yeah.
out for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Happy to help. Okay. So you mentioned working on your gut issues.
Yeah. So when we decided on this topic, I was like, what really embarrasses me? Because I really try to show up authentically here. And
Mhm.
the only thing that deeply, deeply embarrasses me is that I have a lot of tummy trouble. And I've had a lot of tummy trouble my whole life because of my traumatic history. And it's something that has always been an ongoing journey to try and repair. But whenever I notice those tummy issues kind of coming up again, I feel that like I'm feeling even pre-embarrassed that, I might need to leave a social event, or I might, have an incident, or
Yeah.
whatever my brain tells me is going to happen, and that definitely brings up feelings of embarrassment for me.
Right. Okay. Awesome. So today I'm embarrassed about my tummy troubles. At what number?
I'm gonna put it at like a 5.5, 6. We'll bump it at that 6.
6. Okay. And just for the people who are watching, you can, I call it prophylactically tap. Like if you know you're going to be going somewhere and you're going to feel embarrassed about your body or something, or a little uncomfortable wearing your outfit or whatever it is, you can absolutely do some tapping to help to just manage that so that you feel more comfortable wherever you're going.
Hmm.
So it doesn't have to be done just in this way that we're doing it, right? But I encourage you to tap down your numbers on whatever you're embarrassed about, and notice where you're at, tap it down at least halfway, and then you can go into some like positive affirmation type tapping. Try not to avoid what's going on, because you're just going to, your mind is going to find what you want. So if you feel embarrassed about something and you go to a party and you're like, but it's good, but I'm going to just be positive, right? And that toxic positivity, um, then your mind is still going to find things that are going to make you feel embarrassed, situations that are going to make you feel embarrassed, right? So it's really important to notice where you're at, tap that down first, focus on feeling embarrassed, and then you can add in, I went to this function and I felt fine and it all worked out, or whatever you want to positive, use positive affirmations to kind of forward think for
Hmm.
yourself, and how it was easier for you, or you moved through it with more grace, or something like that. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to like say that first. All right, so let's go into some tapping here. So we're going to start creating what we call a setup statement and acceptance phrase, and we'll tap it 3 times on the side of the hand, right? I'm just on the side of the hand. It doesn't matter which hand. And it goes like this, and Safrianna is going to repeat, and you can, like she said, you can fill in your own words and your own situations and your own feelings. Maybe you're tapping on something that's different. It's the same embarrassment, but it's a different situation, or it's a different body part. So just add that in. So even though I'm feeling embarrassed,
Even though I'm feeling embarrassed,
and right now it seems like a 6,
and right now it seems like a 6,
I'm choosing to honor how I feel.
I'm choosing to honor how I feel.
And right now I feel embarrassed
And right now I feel embarrassed
because of my tummy troubles,
because of my tummy troubles,
and I'm acknowledging I feel this way.
and I'm acknowledging I feel this way.
And even though right now
And even though right now
I feel embarrassed about my tummy troubles,
I feel embarrassed about my tummy troubles,
I deeply and completely
I deeply and completely
love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
And now we'll go through the points. I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed.
In between the eyebrows, I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed.
Outside the eyes, all this embarrassment.
All this embarrassment,
Under the eyes, I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed.
Under the nose, embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
On the chin, I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed.
Wow, I have a lot of energy moving in my body. under, under the collarbone, I'm embarrassed.
I am embarrassed.
And under the arm, all this embarrassment.
All this embarrassment.
Top of the head, Embarrassed in my stomach, in my gut. Where do you want to call stomach?
Yeah, I'm
Is it?
embarrassed in my gut. Because I'd say it's the whole thing.
Yeah, embarrassed in my gut,
Embarrassed in my gut.
inside the eyebrows. My tummy is embarrassed.
My tummy is embarrassed.
Outside the eyes. All these embarrassing tummy troubles.
All these embarrassing tummy troubles.
Under the eyes. Embarrassing tummy troubles.
Embarrassing tummy troubles.
Under the nose. My tummy troubles are embarrassing.
My tummy troubles are embarrassing.
On the chin. My tummy is embarrassed.
My tummy is embarrassed.
Under the collarbone. All this embarrassment.
All this embarrassment.
And under the arm. I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed.
Top of the head. Right now,
Right now,
there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
In between the eyebrows. Nothing bad is happening right now.
Nothing bad is happening right now.
Outside the eyes. I'm safe here.
I'm safe here.
Underneath the eyes. Nothing bad is happening to my body.
Nothing bad is happening to my body.
Under the nose. What's coming to my mind here is this is really helping anyone be really present of what's happening right now. Okay? You can switch to on the chin. Because we want to let go of the future anticipation of being embarrassed. And we also want to let go of where it comes from the past, right? Under the collarbone, so that we can stay really present and enjoy what's happening right now in life and not let it pass us by, right? That's one of the main reasons why we're doing this work. Not only to shift the embarrassment out so that you don't feel that anymore, which can absolutely be a permanent thing, but it's also to really help you to stay much more present. Because I would think under the arm that embarrassment is connected to a lot of other things, right? It's connected to fear, top of the head, it's connected to anxiety, in between the eyebrows. It can be connected to past trauma. So outside the eyes, it could be hurt, it could be sadness, it could be anger. There's lots of things, right? Underneath the eyes. So under the nose, I needed to just pause and say all that psychoeducation for a minute. On the chin. So still feeling embarrassed.
Still feeling embarrassed.
Under the collarbone. My tummy is embarrassed.
My tummy is embarrassed.
Under the arm. All this embarrassment in my tummy.
All this embarrassment in my tummy.
All right, let's just pause for a moment. I would drink some water or tea. And take a big inhale. And let it go. Exhale. So that was a few rounds. That was a lot right now. So for anyone who's new, you might be feeling tingling. You might be feeling tired. You might be feeling some swirling of energy or, tingling on the tapping points. All of that is normal. Drink lots of water because this is energy healing and we are moving things, and you want to keep breathing deeply, drinking water, taking care of yourself, and letting it move through you. So when you think about your tummy troubles now, how embarrassed are you still?
It definitely has dropped. I would put it at like a 3 now.
Okay.
I noticed as I was tapping, just like the heat, there was a lot of heat moving in my stomach area. So I was just kind of just noticing that. And as you were saying all the things embarrassment can come from, I was like, oh, that and that and that and that, like there was a lot of connection that was happening there.
Yeah. Okay. So, is there something that happened recently where I think I know what you're going to.
Yes. So
that you were embarrassed, and you don't have to necessarily share it, but we can work on that without you sharing it. But I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, well, I'll just say my tummy troubles have increased lately because I've been under a lot of stress. And I was at a social engagement and definitely had it act up. And I had to like leave the social engagement for over an hour to just like hide upstairs in the bathroom. And people were so affirming. Like, I will say that it was very affirming, but I was still embarrassed, even
Mm-hmm.
though like everyone there was like, it's okay. Like, we love you. I still felt that, like, because it took me back to my past when I didn't have that. So
Ah,
that's where their embarrassment was really coming from, was the past.
mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So when things today are like a 5 or above, it usually means that it's still connected to something from our past, right?
Hmm.
So we want to, kind of clear out a little bit of what's, generally we worked on the embarrassment. Now it's like, okay, what currently, what recently happened. So we can go into that and then, see how far we go. So because the number, well, when you think back to that situation, I still feel embarrassed. What number is that?
This recent one, I would put it at a 3.
Okay.
Like, it's, I think that 3 is like, it still does happen.
Okay. All right. So because it's a low number, we can go in and use optimal EFT, which is the meditative form. I typically don't go in with very high numbers. Like, I want to tap, get really clear, make sure we know exactly what we're working on, and then go in and use this. So let's go in. So closing your eyes and just taking a deep breath here and remembering for a moment what we're tapping on and what your numbers are. Do you still feel this heat energy swirling or no?
Yeah, there's definitely still some heat there.
Okay. Do you feel like it's coming up your body and or like
No, I feel like it wants to ground, actually.
go down?
Yeah, ground down. Like, it wants to be released back to the earth, kind of.
Okay. All right. All right. So closing your eyes, and I'd like you to imagine a loving, happy moment in your life. Right? Something that brings you joy, something that brings you unconditional loving feelings. Um, that kind of makes your inside smile a little bit. And let me know when you have that. Okay. Starting with that feeling and that image in your heart space, right? The image is in your mind, and just let it expand. Let the image get bigger. Let the feelings grow and fill up and expand as big as you can let it right now. And this is how we connect to our source within, our highest selves, and a higher power. And in this practice, we use the unseen therapist title, but you can use whoever you wish, your spirit guides, angels, God, it doesn't matter. All right. Safrianna has a whole team. So we are sending to your team this embarrassment from a couple weeks ago with your friends and what happened, and wanting to resolve this 3 embarrassment down to 0 and remove whatever is left. Any thoughts, any stuck emotions, any swirling heat that's connected to it, and help that to ground down into the earth so that you feel more anchored into who you are and that you're doing enough and that you are enough. And, no matter if you have stomach issues or not. And let's imagine that your spirit team is completely surrounding you. And imagine that they are, right, they are filled with pure, unconditional, loving energy, kindness, compassion, empathy, healing, and clearing. And they are radiating from themselves, right, a white crystalline light into your body, especially into your belly, right? Softening the heat and softening the swirling energy, and, you know, letting it just kind of go down gently into your body and through the bottoms of your feet and into the earth, and just dissipate away, dissolve away. And let the white crystalline light really shine into your belly, to your whole tummy area, calming your tummy, and letting go of the embarrassment in your tummy, and letting yourself really forgive your body, forgive your belly for having this happen. Letting go of any guilt that there might be there, of maybe not taking as good of care of yourself as you could. And letting go of any frustration that there might be there. Now, I want you to imagine where you were when this happened, the house that you were in, and who you were with. And imagine that it's your spirit team, your guides are surrounding the entire dwelling. And surrounding everyone in it, surrounding the circumstances that happened, and clearing out any embarrassment energy that might have been there. Clearing out any looks, any laughs, any worries. Just clearing out anything unwanted. So that going forward, the next time that you're all together, you are supported before you even get there. So there doesn't have to be any fear of embarrassment leading up to it, or this anxious anticipation of anything leading up to it. So you don't have to figure out how this is going to happen. All you have to do is keep resolving, sending it to your spirit team, and just ask for resolution, right? Just keep sending it and asking for resolution, right? Help to free me of this embarrassment. Help to free me of this pattern of tummy troubles. And just being open. Your heart is open, your mind is open, your energy is open to receiving messages, downloads, the right information, opportunities that will help you to just feel really good and really strong about who you are, no matter what's happening. Loving your body no matter what's happening. So taking all the love that was surrounding the dwelling you were in into your heart space. And imagine doing that while you were there, like in the past experience. So that issue, that situation can completely heal and clear. And then come back into this moment here where you were surrounded by your spirit guides and your whole team. And they were helping you to resolve and dissolve, right? The heat all the way down into the earth and completely resolve the ways you felt embarrassed about your belly and tummy troubles. And you can take all of this love and white crystalline light and all this good energy right into your heart space now. And when you feel like this is complete for now, you can open your eyes.
I always suggest to look around your space when you come up out of something like that, just to anchor in. That came with some fun imagery, Meryl.
Oh, I had a feeling.
Yeah, I know last time it was just very like it was pleasant and neutral for me, but this time I got my images again. And the unseen therapist in the form of Brigid, which, if you're unfamiliar with her, she is a Celtic goddess of healing and water and fire. Fun
Mm,
thing there. And she came in and she showed me that my tummy was a cauldron,
okay.
and she was showing me the chaos bubbling in the cauldron.
Mm,
And then she was putting like new healing water in there and like some sprigs of herbs and just kind of like calming it. And so that was really,
some
really fun.
cumin, some fennel, some coriander, some ginger.
Yeah, all these herbs, the Ayurvedic spices, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just saw it like completely calming, and then that was able to drain the heat down as that was happening. So that was really fun.
Cool.
Um, yeah, so thank you.
So when I think now back to that situation, am I still embarrassed?
No, there's a lot of gratitude there. Again, because I said like all of the embarrassment was coming from the past, and I was really able to anchor into the present, and that I showed up in honesty. I was like, having tummy troubles, go leaving. I'll be back. Um, and because I was able to own it, and I was in a very supportive circle, everyone was chill, right?
Yeah.
And so really I was that optimal EFT helped me really anchor into that in the present, that's the environment that I'm in now. I'm not in that past environment where I might have
Right.
been shamed or, made to feel more embarrassed.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Because sometimes we're not even open because we've had so much trauma of it not working out in our favor. it's hard for us to open up to the support that we really do have, and we don't necessarily let it in such a way that like fuels our soul,
Mm-hmm.
where we can anchor into that going forward. Because sometimes, if we can't do that, then we just keep going back to the past circumstances where it didn't work out, and that's what fuels the fear and the anxious anticipation going forward. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And so just to say there, if you still find yourself in circumstances where others are embarrassing you, or they're like they are trying to make you feel embarrassed for something that is you or out of your control, or just a circumstance that you're in, remember that you're allowed to keep aligning yourself with that new circle. I am an example
Yeah.
of that. I have had so much community loss over the years, and every time I've lost someone who was unaligned, someone more aligned came in. So, just to affirm that. So, thank you. Let's see who else wants to support, or what other messages are here around this topic of embarrassment. Because, yeah, and again, this is just a taste of what Meryl does. That was like a
Right.
quick, when I'm working one-on-one with Meryl on a big issue. I mean, we go an hour, a full hour
Well,
of just tapping and talking and
right.
EFT, optimal, like all of that.
Right. And if we were going to be doing that today, the next step would be like, what does this remind you of from your past? And then we would go into that embarrassment from your past, and we would work on wiping that out so that you don't feel embarrassed about your tummy, you know, ever again.
Yes. All right. We've got 3 cards that want to come out. So let's see. Oh, 4? Nope. Okay, just 3. So this is fun. The first one, so I'm drawing today from the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell.
I can't see without my glasses.
And the first one is star ancestors. We've got the pyramids here. You can see some Thoth energy up here. We've got
Mm.
Orion. We've got all this beautiful energy. And what this one is saying is, when we feel embarrassed, look a little deeper. When you feel embarrassed, what is this trying to bring up for you that's actually hidden wisdom about how you want to align and move forward, right? Like, why are you feeling embarrassed? What is the story here? Or what is the maybe shadow secret that you've kind of tried to keep repressed that might be ready to be healed, right? Look to embarrassment as an opportunity to align even more and to reclaim parts of yourself that maybe you've cut out, right? You've cut them out because they were embarrassing or shameful or whatever. You were afraid of them. We get to look deeper. The embarrassment gets to teach us something, which goes
Yeah.
into Earth School. Love this. This soul is flying down towards Earth from the heavens to go to Earth
Interesting.
School. And in Earth School, we learn our life lessons, and we have soul growth, and we have higher learning. And that higher learning doesn't mean college here. It means the higher learning of our interpersonal relationships, and our person to person relationships, and also our relationship within. And so when we feel embarrassed, that is something that is ready to be cleared, that we're actually learning from. Because if we're not embarrassed, right, we're not impacted in that deeper way by it, on that sort of unpleasant scale. So anytime that feeling comes up, it again is this opportunity for soul growth. How can I let this feeling go so it doesn't hold me back from pursuing things, right? Because we can absolutely block ourselves from having fun experiences. You said that essentially earlier, because we're worried we're going to end up embarrassed, right? So when we can actually recognize, oh, this emotion is here to be cleared so that I can actually enjoy myself, I can move forward, I can feel free, that helps us have that soul level learning that we don't have to lug that around with us anymore. Super important. And then the last one is I remember. So we have this figure
Hmm.
sitting at a pool looking down. This actually looks so much like the cauldron that I had in my
Yeah. Oh,
meditation. This was what the cauldron surface kind of looked like.
well, and
This,
you were even talking about wanting, like, the heat was going down into the earth. So it's so interesting how we
yeah.
pick these cards that are Just
I
so,
love when the cards just go with it.
yeah.
So this is, I remember, I'm getting goosebumps with this. When we feel embarrassed, again, it's usually from an outside source making us feel wrong, right? It's that mom said I should be embarrassed about this, or this was
Hmm.
something that I shouldn't do, or my teacher said that I didn't do this the right way, and so I carried this with me forever, that it was the wrong way. I remember embarrassment is a calling back to ourselves about the fated life versus the destiny life, right? And sometimes when we're really bogged down by heavy and negative emotions, we feel like we're stuck. We feel like, oh, this is just how it is. This is just how it is. There's nothing I can do. Versus stepping into empowerment, right? And remembering, no, I get to forge my own destiny. I get to move forward the way that I want to. And that embarrassment is potentially there to show us what's not aligned, right? People that aren't aligned, situations that aren't aligned, body stuff that's not aligned, right? Sometimes this is actually just a rising of that inner knowing that we're a little bit off of our soul's plan. So I remember my soul's plan and move back into that. So I really take away from all of this today that embarrassment's here for us. Like, it's actually here for us to
Hmm.
figure out where to go next. It's kind of like I talk about fear. Fear can be like, oh, I'm so afraid of doing this, I need to do it, right?
Yep.
I'm afraid to take this next step in my business, or to ask this person out on a date or whatever. Oh, well, that's actually a sign that you really want that.
Hmm.
And embarrassment can be very similar. It's like, I really want to be in an aligned circle, or I really want friends that support me and don't ridicule me, or I need some space or boundaries, or I need to get more aligned in my body and take better care of it. So, embarrassment is here for us, is what I take away from all of this. Earth School, we're
Yep.
here learning through these tougher emotions,
Hmm.
and they help us remember why we are really here and what we came here to do.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you for all that. Um, I mean, all of our unwanted stuff, all of our triggers, it's all here to teach us something if we want it to, right? We can choose to stay in it, or we can choose something else. And you can choose to stay, feeling embarrassed and worry about the self judgment, or feel the pain from the self judgment that you already, did get from your past. Um, or you can choose to use it to build your self trust, increase your self esteem, build your confidence, build your self love and acceptance, so that you don't feel embarrassed. You
Yeah.
just show up who you are.
And if people have a problem with that,
Yep.
okay,
Then you're
well,
then they're not your people,
yeah, absolutely.
right? So
Yes, so important. So, thank you as always, Meryl. It is a delight. And I hope this was useful for you today. If you're just now tuning in towards the end, hit the replay and get the whole experience of energy clearing, the EFT, the optimal EFT, and the full reading. And we are here for you. So if there's a specific topic you want us to tap on and really talk about, let us know so that we can plan an episode around that. We're here to serve you. And as always, if you want support, Meryl is an absolutely incredible EFT practitioner. Her specialty, her framework, and it's brilliant and effective. And if you're
thank
looking
you.
for more of that super wild flexy, we go with the flow, you come see me, and we are here
Hmm.
for you. We are here to support you. So have a
Yeah.
blessed day. Know that your
Thank
tougher
you.
emotions are here for you, and
Hmm.
we'll be back in about 2 weeks.